All right, so we're looking at PepsiCo. PEP is the ticker. If you look at this low here to this high, 60 weeks, and then if you look at this low to this high, it'd be 30 weeks. So that's pretty cool. You got a nice 30-week cycle, low to high, and then 13 weeks would be 90 days. 52 weeks, 1 year anniversary of high. Into last week. So we're in the zone for a top. Of course, this thing just keeps going higher, but it looks like it's ready to go lower. And you look again, 91 days, 90 days low to high. 260 weeks would be 5 years low to high, and 45 weeks low to high. So there are a lot of cycles here indicating a possible top. But that said, you still want to wait for evidence that it's actually turning down. So the cycles by themselves, they're important. They tell you when to look for a top, but you want to look for a reason to expect, you want to see the market start to sell off. So in this case, Pepsi, just wait for it to turn down and then just jump on it. Now note here, the low was 95.94 back in 5 years ago on May 9th. So coming up next week, about a week from today, a week from tomorrow, I guess, would be the 9th. And that would be your 1 year, or your 5 year anniversary of low. And we're just slightly above twice this low. So that's a time and price setup. 2 times 95.94 equals 198.88. And we're pretty darn close to that price as we get to the 5 year anniversary. So who knows? Maybe it'll keep going higher. But I would not be tempted to sell today. I'd probably want to see what happens. The 6 is actually a target here, an impulse ripple. We anchor from this high here, and it projects these vertical lines, and they tend to catch highs. So in this case, the next one is due the 6th, which would be a weekend. That would be this coming Saturday. And then what you know about the 9th is the 5 year anniversary of low. So it all looks good to me. I would say wait until next Monday, Tuesday. If you see it start to sell off, note we're hugely overbought, and we may continue to rally this week. But next week, you also have the mid-season turn halfway between the spring equinox and the summer solstice, as well as this impulse ripple and the 5 year anniversary of low. So it looks really good to me. Now, here's one way to figure it out. Picking tops is a dicey thing, but if you wait for it to show weakness, like say if it gets below 177.42 during the month of May, then you're breaking this 4x1 line. If this is the 1x1 line and we're using a scale of 0.5, then the 4x1 by definition would be using a scale of 2. So it's 4 times the slope of the 1x1. And if the 1x1 works so well, chances are the 4x1 will work really well too, which means that when you break it, it's a big deal. This ballistic rally into high is one thing, but once you break this 4x1 line, you're starting a big move down. So whatever the reason is for Pepsi, normally, sugar water is a defensive play, so people do not give up on sugar water just because you go into a recession. In fact, maybe they drink more. So on that basis, Coca-Cola, Pepsi should be a defensive play. A lot of people would buy them, but I'm saying, for what it's worth, from a Gann perspective, this thing is topping, and once you close below 177.42, that's confirmation that you're starting a big move down. So that's why I like Gann, because, A lot of people are probably buying this stock thinking it's a defensive play when Gann is saying, no, it's not defensive at all.